Yo, what's going on, guys? Deadly Wolf here, back with another video. Today, it is the long-awaited. I've been hearing it. I've had you guys been telling other people to tell me about. Let's do a review on the new Veil set. So, today is that day. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Let's just go ahead and start from the top. As you can see, I literally just got done opening crates for it because, I'm your guys' favorite plat spender, am I right? Now, is it worth to get the arty? Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and take a look at it right here. We're not going to show any stats just yet because I want you guys to take just a peek at the stuff. So I've already awakened it. I only got 2% damage, 2% haste. But I went ahead and threw the corrupted jewels for my blood set on it, and then I also had a Vesper Stone. Okay, so I would recommend getting a Vesper Stone. Um, no matter what, they normally go pretty cheap in auction. People have been selling them for like 50 mil, but they're super good because what they don't understand, right, is 2.25% dex, right? That is the primary stat for rogue, and that is a corrupted finesse jewel, right? The Vesper Stone gives you 50% primary stat and plus 25% plus 25 damage. Okay, so what that means is I'm getting plus 50 dex with an extra 25 damage. Okay, now just to put that in comparison to a Frostworm Eye, you get plus 12 primary stat with plus 5 damage. That is literally like five or four and a half of these put together. Okay, you would need 4 of the Frostworm Eyes just to get the amount of damage that the Vesper Stone gives you, but then you'd also need about 4.5 Frostworm Eyes for the 50 damage, right? So the Vesper Stone, I do recommend getting it. If you're obviously not a plat spender, go ahead and buy one out of auction if somebody's selling one, which a lot of people will start selling them towards the end of the event. Now, I'm not looking to crash the market with these, but I am just saying this now. The Vesper Stone is better than any corrupted jewel. Okay. Now, the only thing that sucks about the Vesper Stone is you can only stack one. So you just need to get your hands on one, right? So you can see here, if you go ahead and look at it, not removable, not stackable. So you can only have one per piece or one per set, actually. And it needs to be level 50 to 91. Now, I doubt anybody's going to be putting this on some level 50 piece of gear, but, it is what it is. Okay. Now, some things that you will notice about my set when I go ahead and show you it is, like I said, I got corrupted jewels, and then I also got my hands on some radiant jewels. Okay. Again, you don't need these. Literally, I was looking at before I put these jewels on and before I reawaken the items to what they have now, I was sitting at a exponentially high amount of dexterity. Okay. So basically what that means is the Veil set, I'm going to be honest, guys. The Veil set is the new damage set. Okay. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to build that set. Okay. If you have all 3 Veil pieces. Now, I wouldn't recommend buying the unless you want to, but the Veil Arty is most likely not going to drop in price anytime soon. Reasoning for that is after a couple bits of testing, and I'll show you that in Dune. I'll show you what it looks like in Dune, but I'll also show you what it looks like against bosses. It's basically like a mythic blood artifact. It's literally a mythic blood artifact, but it has a smaller radius. Okay, so when it procs, and you can scroll down to see this, it says a chance to summon a powerful aura that unleashes massive solar damage to nearby enemies. So it's going to be super good for like proccing it. If you're wanting to use this over the Blood Arty, you would basically proc it like the Blood Arty, and it would work the same way, and you'll just be able to mow down everything in your path. Okay, and I've been testing it to see if it was more worth to use Blood Arty or Veil Arty, and it's one of those things where they're very similar. One just does more damage than the other. Now, which one does more damage than the other? That's what we're going to get into today. Okay. So if you guys didn't know though, once the arty did drop today, it did give the 3 out of 3 items equipped. Now what this means is it says it invokes a deadly arts available assassins to give you 135, this is obviously for dex or for rogue, but 135% dexterity boost. Now let me say that again. You get 135% dexterity boost. Just let that sink in, right? That number is so high. If you have the 3 out of 3 set, it's not even funny. Okay? But then you also get 15% haste, which is great, 15% damage stacking, which is also great, and 10% speed stacking. So, I mean, that's pretty nice too. But once you go to Dune, you can get an additional 10% resistance to solar damage, 10% damage, and an extra 10% speed with 15% critical hit damage. So now you're getting 20% speed on top of 15% damage stacking and 10% damage. And then you're also getting an extra 15% critical damage with the 3 out of 3 set. And then if you're obviously looking at the defaults, you get 135 dex, 20 damage, 5% movement speed. So you basically, if you have the 3 out of 3 equipped, you get 25% movement speed just from the artifact, right? And then same thing for the chest plate. You're looking at 140 dex, 40 damage, 4,000 armor. Like the armor's insane. And then 20% solar resistance with 25 solar damage. And then the helmet, you're looking at 15% crit damage, 1,200 health, another 2,400 armor, 17% boss damage, 15% solar, 15 plus damage, right? And then that's also on top of the stacks. Now, the Veilblade Assassin helmet is a way better helmet to proc over the Blood helmet, just because of the stats that it gives you, the 25% primary stat along with 25% lethality. Basically, the way lethality does is however much health they have left, if the lethality can proc, it basically just cuts their health in half, so it does a shit ton of damage. Okay? If none of you knew what lethality did, now you do. Damage resistance 25%, 25% solar resistance, 25% damage stacking, and 2.2x movement speed for 10 seconds. Okay? And then the chest plate as well, if you guys haven't already looked at it, along with the helmet. Chance to summon the Immortal Assassin buff when dealing damage, plus 25% primary stats, plus 25% crit damage, plus 25% solar resistance, and 4x armor in PvE for 10 seconds as well. So if you're proccing this set alone, it's already pretty good. But what I like to do is I like to mix the blood procs with the veil damage. Okay, and you'll see what that looks like. That looks like in a second. Let me go ahead and show you the current stats of it. And obviously my stats are going to be a little bit lower, just because I took my jewels off to swap them onto the veil set to test it out. But we'll go ahead and use my blood helmet that has my dex percentage awakes, which is going to be this one. And then we'll also use my armor, and then we'll go ahead and put the normal star beast on so you guys can see what my damage set was looking like, if you guys didn't already know. So obviously I'm going to use my chakrams because my chakrams have the highest base damage for all 3 of these weapons, plus I have 17% awakes on it. And I'll go ahead and show you my stats. Okay, so this is what my damage set looks like now. That's obviously after I took 3 corrupted jewels off my helmet, which if I put them back on, I was at about 5,300-ish or 5,200, around there. Okay, that's with those 3 extra corrupteds on there. Okay, now I'm just going to go ahead and show you something. So we're going to we're going to put blood on, right? We're going to put these blood pieces on because I just want to show you. We're going to keep the immortal bracelet. We're not going to worry too much about that. And then we're going to go SB. And then we're going to go SB as well here. And that's the Veil helmet and SB here. Okay. So you can see, we're at 4,500 dexterity. That's with the 3 out of 3 SB. And then you got 4, unless you want to put the ring here, which would obviously give you a little bit extra boost. Yeah, that's cool, right? But if we go ahead and just put the Veil set on, okay? So we're going to go helmet. We're going to go armor. Oops, that's Bio Beast. We're going to go armor. We're going to leave SB, SB, and then we're going to put SB here, okay? So you can see that our damage, this is us building our damage set right now. So we got Blood Chakrams, Veil Helmet, Veil Chestplate, SB Pendant, SB Ring, SB Pendant, and SB Belt, okay? And then Immortal Bracelet. Now, if we come down to the Veilblade Assassin artifact, and again, I tested this before I even awakened any of this stuff. It was insane. When we click on this, I'm just going to blow your guys' mind real quick. We click it. You can see that it literally gives me plus 2,677 dex. Like, what? Look at my dex percentage now. 7,376. Okay. We'll equip that, and you can see my base damage gets shot up to 164,000 damage. Obviously, your critical strike chance doesn't matter with Rogue because after 100%, it doesn't stack anymore. But, it's still crazy to see your numbers this high, right? DPS, 151,000, almost 152,000 damage per second with 7,554 dex. You can see I got 41,000 health and then 10k armor. Like, that is actually disgusting. That is so disgusting. It's literally, you're just a freaking walking beast now with it. So we're going to go ahead and show what it looks like, obviously, against Hydra. And if you guys don't know how to proc the sets, like I do in every single video, I do SB for the Cosmic Killer, okay? Once we get SB done, I'm going to use the blood set. We're going to proc all blood, and then we're going to proc the damage set, okay? So this is how we're going to play it, and then we're going to do a couple tests, and then I'll show you what it looks like in Dune. Let's go ahead and put this away, and then put this away as well. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and run up. You can obviously see that we're on leaderboard. We'll do everything like normal, and then you could just see like the amount of damage that I was doing right there is actually insane. So we'll go ahead and kill these tentacles off, but let's just pull out the DPS. Look at that. 1 billion damage. 1 billion damage. Like, what? It's just actually insane from how much damage you do. And then you can obviously see that, solar damage, you're doing 136,000 pet damage, almost 300k. And then the total physical damage, you're doing almost 1 billion as well. And then obviously the cosmic in nature, that's coming from the blood set and the chakrams when you proc that stuff. But the maximum damage, 24 million. Your total damage, 1 billion. Maximum DPS, 420 million. So I'm literally doing 420 million damage a second. But then it says your average DPS is 116 million. But that is still crazy high for that. That was with the blood proc. So like that was with literally just using 8 out of 8 blood. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like if we can get it to proc, because sometimes the Veil helmet doesn't want to proc, and if it doesn't, then you're kind of screwed with the damage. But we'll go ahead and show you now. We'll go ahead and go in. As you guys can see, no cuts, 0 damage, reset completely. And then if we could get the Veil Helmet to proc in this, we should be good. Like you can see, I messed up on my swap too. I messed up on the swap, and I'm still doing 1 billion damage. And then you can see my average DPS already went up. My maximum DPS went down, but my average DPS went up by a whole, what was it, 19 mil? Like, that is absolutely insane. Okay. Now let's go ahead and do a ghost party real quick. Let's go ahead and do a ghost party. And let's go ahead and we don't have Elite Duneville yet. We'll go ahead and go in. So I'm going to show you what the actual artifact does. Okay, so let's just turn the map off so you can get more of a visual. See if we can get it to proc. So you can see that little circle under me, this little circle. You can see that if I'm literally just standing next to the enemies, this isn't even proccing Cosmic Killer. That wasn't even proccing Cosmic Killer. That wasn't proccing. That was literally just proccing the Veil set with SB. And it just shreds the enemies that quick. Now, obviously, with that, I'm using the Star Beast Pendant. It's going to give you that 2x damage increase. So you can see gives you 100% movement speed, 2x damage multiplier when it procs for 10 seconds. So literally, if you got this whole set, if you can get your Veil Helmet and your Star Beast Pendant to proc at the exact same time on a proc set, and then swap to the Veil set, you should, theoretically speaking, be able to out DPS the full blood proc. Okay, but you're also looking at the blood pendant when it does its little explosion. If you can get all those little circles that it shoots out from the blood pendant into the boss, it does that big chunk of damage, which is why I always use the blood pendant or just full blood when I proc anyways. But it's just so broken. Like you could see, I'll go ahead and just drag. I'll just go ahead and drag the enemies real quick, and you can kind of see what it looks like. So we'll just run through here. We'll pop this, pull this out, pop the Cosmic Killer, then proc the blood, and then we'll swap to Veil. I'm not even going to attack. I'm just going to walk. This is literally just me walking. You literally just seen me walk through a whole set of enemies without attacking. All I did was proc my freaking set and then walk through them. And that's just the power of the helmet, though, because the power of the helmet is super good with that with the solar damage. So you want to keep an eye out for that as well when it comes to procking the set, because if your helmet doesn't proc, then you're probably not going to be doing as much damage. That's the only down part about it. If you're procking the Dune helmet. So you can see that the helmet's procced. I'll swap to my speed set, come over here, and I'll just walk through these enemies. All dead. You can see literally 17 million damage just off the proc. It's just absolutely disgusting. It's super nice. And honestly, if you have a good speed set, and you can see right here, we'll go ahead and tap on him. And then look, the helmet procs with the pendant, with the blood pendant, it literally just obliterates the boss. So this is what I use for my main proc set now. It's literally just full blood with the Veil Helmet Assassin. This is what I use in my proc set. And blood daggers, because the blood daggers aura mixed with either the blood arty proc or the Veil arty proc is super good. And now the nice thing about it too, though, is since now that we have two artifacts that are, since we have two artifacts that summon some type of aura around you that just absolutely obliterate everything in the vicinity that you're standing in, you can literally, if your blood arty doesn't proc and you swap to your damage set, cool, the Veil arty will proc eventually. So that's what's nice about this artifact, is now that we have another damage set artifact, so you can use your blood as a proc set, but you won't necessarily miss out on the blood artifact if the Veilblade, artifact procs. So the only difference between the blood artifact and the Veilblade is the blood artifact. Obviously, um, doing your doing your big circle, but you can see that it gives you 75% movement speed, 50% damage. So, and then we go to the Veil set, and it literally just, it doesn't have any specific stats with the proc, but it just says chance to summon a powerful aura to unleash massive solar damage to nearby enemies. So it's, but it's literally doing way more damage compared to the actual Blood Arty. And again, the difference is the Blood Arty has a way bigger aura. So the Blood Arty normally, like if you're running through the Dunville caves, it'll reach through like the entire hallway and you could just kind of run straight down it. From what I've seen is the Dune Arty, it doesn't have that big of a proc. So you'll see this, we'll proc this, and then we'll proc this, and then we'll swap to the Dune set to try to get the Arty to proc. And you see it procking. So it's literally doing the exact same thing as the Blood Arty. Like you could just see the damage. Like it's super good. The damage is super nice. Like I don't think that anybody will necessarily, I don't think you're going to have a problem using this set. It's just the only thing that sucks about it is now you're going to have to decide, do you want the Blood Arty or do you want the Veil Arty? Because you can see me, I'm literally not even proccing any of my stuff. I'm just hitting. And me hitting right now, just the enemies without proccing a set, is still killing the enemies faster than most people can kill. Like you could see the damage right now. Like just look at how fast the enemies actually die. That's literally everything on cooldown, nothing procced. That's just straight damage. And then we could show you this on the rock boss, because we're on the rock boss now. So I'm going to clear this side of the map real quick. And then we're going to go fight him. We're not even going to worry about the event stuff. I guess I missed a lot of enemies back there. We'll go ahead and just run back real quick. Where'd I miss all the enemies at? There's one guy. There's two. You're telling me I only missed 2 enemies? And the boss doesn't spawn? Unless I didn't clear that entire right side of the map. I don't think I cleared the right side of the map. I'm going to be honest. Let's go ahead and run back. Oh yeah, here it is. This is why the boss ain't spawning. So we'll go ahead and just pop proc, swap to damage. And it's literally just a free mowdown. That's all it is. So I don't think I have to kill her. I think I could just run back to the boss. I don't want to have to waste my procs because I want to see, because this is my first time testing it out on the rock boss as well. So we're about to see how much damage we can do. So we're going to come in, shoot him, do this. He's going to do his little rock attack. Okay, never mind. I get stunned. All right, we're just going to wait for Cosmic Killer to re-proc or get off cooldown. And then once it's off cooldown, we'll show you. All right, here we go. So we'll shoot him, pop pet, stand behind him, let him do his little rock attack, and then we'll come back, proc that, and then you could see like you can already see that we literally get him down to his 2nd health gate just off the first proc. And then I dash into him and die. So it's literally, I think as long as I don't, See, the only thing I hate about this boss is the fact that he just be perma-stunning you. So look, this is literally just the Veilblade already doing damage to him. Like, this is just with my damage set on. This ain't even my proc set. And look at how fast I am, too. Like, you can see the movement speed is nice with the set proc, if you could get it. So all my stuff should be on cooldown by the time he gets out of his little rage session. And then if he can just come over here and get out of his little hidey hole. So we're gonna pop pet, just pop razor wire, and then pop weapon on him. Like, just look at how much damage you're doing. Like, that's just actually insane. And I will say, though, too, the aura from the Veilblade already, or the Dune Veil, is so nice. It looks super good. I love the way the arty looks, and I just love the way that it attacks. But at the end of the day, I will say this, okay? It is probably the best arty in the game. Okay, hands down. Mixed with the Dune set or the Assassin set, the 3 out of 3, this is the best 3 out of 3 you can run with SB. And then obviously there's not anything that's better than the Immortal Bracelet just quite yet. You can obviously see that I have this Royal Champions bracelet that's almost 8% dex with Enchanted Eyes on it. And it's almost as good as the Immortal Bracelet, but my Immortal Bracelet only has 6% dex, but it also has the Rogue Starstones on it. So you might be able to get a Royal Champions bracelet better than the Immortal Bracelet, and then if you do, you can get your hands on 15% extra crit damage for 10 seconds with a 20-second cooldown, which is super nice. But obviously the Immortal Bracelet, you get 20% crit damage along with 15% armor. So the Immortal Bracelet's still going to be your best damage set bracelet in game. But yeah, as far as Arcane Legends go, this new set literally just broke the game. It's super nice. I'll show you this photo that I took earlier. This is of my proc set while I'm mid-fighting a boss. You can see, we'll go ahead and close that. You can see this is mid-proc on Hydra. I get my dexterity up to 9,609 damage. My damage is literally 1.6 mil, and then damage per second, DPS, is 1.475 mil. So at the end of the day, the Veilblade artifact is going to be the best artifact in the game for your damage sets. And honestly, you could probably get away with using it on your proc sets too now. So again, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, leave a like. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. And always, as always, y'all have a great rest of your day.